Hey guys, welcome to another video. So we've got the Pathfinder with us today, and we are going to hit the Hellsgate / the Buttes trail. We got to open the gate right here to get in. I've already aired down to about 18 psi. It's a little windy today, not bad. So if there's any wind noise, I'm gonna apologize in advance for that. But yeah, let's go. The gate has seen better days. They've got it mended right here, but it's kind of all janky and crooked, so. But there's enough room we can get in. And always remember to close the gate behind you. Or leave it as you found it. If it's open, leave it open. If it's closed, close it. So as you can see, the trail starts out fairly easy as you do a small climb up this hill. There are a few rocky parts that don't really require much effort to get through. If you see me taking some weird lines in this video, it's due to me having forgotten yet again to install my engine skid plate, so I was trying to keep the oil pan away from anything that might hit it. Here's one of the rocky parts at the start that is fairly easy. Just keep an eye out for any that might be sharp enough to cause a puncture. As you crest the hill, try to stay a bit to the left, as there is a washed out area on the right that could get sketchy if you are too close to the edge. As with most trails in Arizona, this one comes with a pinstriping warning, so if you are not a fan of scratching your paint, you may want to reconsider attempting. Alright, this trail here goes up to King Ridge, and that's the one that we are just going to go ahead and skip for today. So let's keep going on the Hell's Gate. So if you look closely in front of the Pathfinder here, you can see there is a washed out section that is narrow and deep. Best to try and straddle it if you can, but it may require you to get up close and personal with the brush on the right. From a distance, I thought this was a downed tree blocking the trail, but as you can see, it has likely been here for a while and the trail has detoured around it. Depending on the vehicle, this turn might require some additional maneuvering. This is where the Hell's Gate hiking trail splits off from the vehicle trail. It appears like vehicles can go that way, but it does not show as such on most trail maps, so take the right turn here to continue on 893. As you start to climb to the highest point on this trail, you encounter more loose, rocky terrain. This climb, along with what I consider the most difficult part of the trail to come, are the hardest parts of this trail. This section you have to sort of zigzag your way up it for the easiest line. I was taking it slowly because I still have some PTSD from the front axles breaking and was trying to prevent it from happening again. I'm not sure what this clunk noise is, but it's very similar to the sound that the CV axles make when they are not happy, so I definitely got out and gave them a good shake after this to make sure we were still good. The lower pitched clicking you hear is the front locker. Going left at this intersection puts you on Trail 3610 for about 1.7 miles to a dead end. To continue on 893, take a right. Alright, here we have the most difficult section of this trail. The first part is a fairly simple climb. Stay right, but not too far right, so you don't slip over the edge. Then you get to the main obstacle. If you're feeling frisky, you can go up the right side for a nice little challenge. The easy line is on the left. I chose to cut across the middle to avoid putting the oil pan in danger. This is pretty much where you start the downhill descent until we meet up with Trail 656. When you get to the bottom of the hill, you'll want to take a right onto Trail 656. This spot for me was a bit confusing, but basically either way you go, you will end up in the same spot. Going left takes you straight down the hill back to the trail, and going right takes you to a tight hairpin that will require a multi-point turn. As you can see right here, the two paths come back together. So, I may have goofed here and went the wrong way, but you end up in the same spot no matter which way you go. If you continue straight, you cross over Green Valley Creek a ways down and connect to Trail 436. Hang a left on 436, and it'll meet up with Trail 371 just before Highway 260. If you go left like I did, you'll cross the creek immediately and transition through multiple trails before connecting to Trail 371. Hang a right on 371, and it will take you right back to the highway. After climbing that hill, you meet up with Trail 1270A. Take a left, and then immediately take a right onto Trail 1270. All right, guys, we've made it back to the highway. We're gonna go ahead and air up. But that is basically Hellsgate and the Buttes. Pretty nice trail, actually. I quite enjoyed that one. There were a couple instances where I was like, oh no, where that tree was across the trail that we had to go around. I thought it was blocking it. And then also that the most difficult part, the really steep hill. I didn't see the bypass on the left at first, so I was like, oh man, but bypass was good. So we'll go ahead and air up, and yeah, I would say difficulty on that one, probably solid 4, maybe a 5 out of 10. So thanks for joining me on this one, and we'll catch you in the next one.